Sierra City was a fun little town. We're actually showered and have had a couple hot meals, so we feel almost human again. Made it the 1.5 miles back to the trail, and now, so as often the case is when you leave town, we've got water, extra food, and we're going to go all uphill for quite some time. So that's the least fun part, but I'm looking forward to getting the snow done with and continuing on in the rest of Northern California. We're about halfway up, and the other halfway is going up into this stuff. Pretty, but pretty steep. I can see snow starting to come in too, so the fun begins soon. 7.5 miles uphill sure is fun. Woo. At least it's shady, keeping the sun off, and there is no snow. So it would be death with snow on it. So made it 2 miles, so only 5.5 miles to go. Woo! We've made it 7.2 miles up to the top of the hill, and we're both starving, so we're sitting down for some lunch. I found a patch of sun because it's a little chilly up here for me, and I do have my coat in case I need it. But we're out of the wind, which has kicked up again, and the snow has started a little bit, but not in earnest. We'll hold it off as long as possible, but good climb and food as a reward. This section of trail has some patchy bits of snow that you have to go over around, but no wayfinding because you can see the trail on the other side, so pretty easy thus far, nothing sketchy. But it is gorgeous here. Mountains, lakes here in the trees, so it's absolutely a beautiful hike, especially going downhill. It's cool to descend into this valley. We're on our way toward a campground that apparently there's a lodge nearby. I had no idea. So even if we don't stay at the lodge, apparently you can get food there. I will see. That sounds like something that would be cool. I wasn't expecting any kind of civilization on this stretch. I think this is the sketchy section people were talking about as it goes across this slope, which just goes down into the water or into trees or something. So we're microspiking up and going to take it slowly across. There was a little bit of a drop off there in some of the sections, but taking it slowly and kicking some steps, it was nothing. So we're all done with that. Hopefully that was the sketchiest of the sketchies, because it wasn't that sketchy. We reached the campground where we're going to stay, but a comment on Guthook said that there is a lodge nearby that is open that has food. So we are walking that way in search of a good meal. We just found a little placard that says it's open till 8, and since it's 6:30, that means Thunderbirds are go. We enjoyed our dinner. It was a little bit on the pricey side, but it was still pretty tasty. They had a macaroni and cheese that was really good. And of course, brownie sundae for dessert. So, all pretty good. And we are now camping next to a lake that the lodge is next to. And it's a really nice campsite. So, can't argue with that. Perfect soil, and I get the perfect pitch tonight. I don't always get that. Campgrounds are awesome because they have things that hikers really love. Trash cans and bathrooms. It was good camping last night. Didn't get too cold, down to 42, which is a far way away from freezing. So didn't even need to layer up all the clothing. And this morning found not only a dumpster, but bathrooms. So you can't argue with that. That's a good beginning of the day. Of course, as many of these things start, the beginning of the day is also a big long climb uphill. Another day of slipping and sliding. The snow is really slushy now, so it's kind of fun on some of the downhills. You get to slide a bit. We've got an open section of trail here that we're gonna hope lasts for a while. We met a guy coming southbound that told us, I don't know, 6 miles ago or 5 miles ago, that in 22 miles we're completely snow-free for the foreseeable future. So that's something to look forward to. It's still a ways away, but very tiring. So I'm going to look forward to sleeping tonight. This has been a long and exhausting day. Kind of the highs and lows of the PCT. Too much slushy snow was exhausting. Kind of re-injured my toe. My toe was feeling fine this morning. My little toe this time. I got so many toes that have problems. But my little toe that kind of got hyperextended in the snow when I got to the snow, got hyperextended when I slept. So it's been hurting me all day. We made it to a place called A Tree Spring, and that's about as far as I could go. We were both exhausted actually, but my feet need to stop walking because that toe hurts with every step. I managed to find a spot. There's really no good camping spots. Supposedly there are 2 here. Lots of bugs. Supposedly there are 2 here, but there's snow. So if they're here, well, I can't find them. So Lone Wanderer managed to carve out a little spot on the side of the road, and I managed to carve out a little spot here. Took me some searching, but I finally found something off to the side, which isn't perfect, but is much better than being on the road. That was my prior option, and so I'm glad to have one where no late night cars could come through. I don't think they will because everything's snowed over up here, but I do see evidence of a recent motorcycle spinning around over all the snow and everything and having a great time. I just don't want them to do that when I'm camped here. Well, I'm gonna go get some water at the spring, get some food, and get off my feet, especially the foot. So hopefully it can rest and feel better by morning. Last night's rest was really needed. My foot feels a lot better. It's pretty swollen where I did the sprain twice, or sprain or hyperextension or whatever, bending too far back on that little toe. And it doesn't hurt as much right now. I know it starts to act up when I hit snow because it bends your foot all kinds of different ways. But this morning, I'm trying to get out while the snow's still a little crunchy and get over this McRae Ridge, I guess people are calling it. The comments I read from someone a week ago said they tried to go over it 3 different ways and it was just too sketchy for them, so they ended up hiking down a dirt road and catching a hitch elsewhere. But I didn't want to do that, so try to hit it early and see what it looks like, and hopefully it's not too bad. But I'd rather go over it now than later when it starts getting super soft, because sketchy and soft snow, not good. So I'm starting to go up the ridge now, I think, and I'll see what it looks like. No snow this morning thus far, other than at my campsite. We'll see how it goes. I found the trail here finally at the top of the ridge. It was some bushwhacking through the snow. I can see right there, looks like this trail is going to go along that stuff. You can see where that would bother people because it's a snow slope all the way down. Well, I'm glad the snow's still somewhat crunchy this morning. It doesn't look too bad from this angle. I'm going across. That part was easy. I think it's the descent that probably will be fun. So finish getting up over this thing and see what's on the other side. It's quite a ways down and a little more technical, but snow's still pretty solid. So that's on my side, and I'll just take it slowly. The trail's over there to the left, and this snow is over here to the right. So almost there, and it looks pretty free. Down a little bit of snow, but I think this is the worst of it. Let's get this done. Done. Now let's go walk on some dirt for a change. That wasn't too bad. Just don't look down. Yeah, I'm glad to be over that peak. I think this is a stony looking mountain in front of me is Gibraltar. like the Rock of Gibraltar. I'm glad I don't have to go over that. And I can see the trail's gonna loop around and go toward a portion of the mountains that is with less snow. So I like going that direction. I don't know what I have going down the trail. I'm gonna keep my bike spikes on for now and just head on down the trail. I can see Lassen making an appearance in the distance, starting to loom larger, letting me know I'm approaching Lassen Park, which is fun for me because I used to go up there all the time. That's pretty close to Reading, and my grandmother lived up at Old Station, so for me, that'll be visiting my old stomping grounds, which will be fun. I just had some lunch and was starting back down the trail, and I thought I heard some crunching, and I'm just hearing things. Things are crunching in the woods all the time. And I walked up to this tree, and when I got around it, I saw a big old black bear. And he just skedaddled up the hill running away. Thankfully, he was more frightened of me than I was of him. I didn't have time to be frightened. I was like, whoa, a bear! And he took off. He didn't stop to let me video him though, so unfortunately I can't share him. But hey, chalk one up. Bobcat, bear, rattlesnake. Now I just need to see a mountain lion, and my bingo card's complete. One of the side benefits of a whole bunch of snow is you get lots of little surprise impromptu streams and water flows coming down across the trail. So getting water is fairly easy. You don't need to carry a lot of it. Now that I've descended mostly past the snow, there may be no more past this point for a while. We're back to non-snow water sources, and in this area it's kind of dry and just about all the water sources are off trail, so you have to hike to get there. So I just had to do a nice little 0.3 mile road walk down to where the water flows under a bridge. I guess it's a tributary of the Feather River. Good water, but 0.3 down, 0.3 up. It's not 0.6 miles you want to do, but since I'm planning on dry camping up ahead in about 4 miles, I want to have water to do so. So had to be done. I managed to make it 18.8 miles today, which is better than the 11s and 12s I've been doing in the snow. I started off in snow, and that's why it's a little bit shorter than I'd like, but still good time, and I'm past the bulk of the snow, so from here on out should be pretty smooth sailing, which I'm happy for. I found a good campsite tonight, but the flies are out in force, so I decided to retreat to my tent as quickly as possible. It's pretty being in all this tree cover, but these close bushes to the trail I think every single one of them has a spider web across the trail. And I think I've had more spider webs across my face than I have in the rest of my life. To this point, could probably make a new hat with the amount of webbing I've got here. Whew. But it's still pretty in here. It's about 7:30 at night and I have 1.5 miles to go. I'm trying to get a 29-mile day in today. Get myself closer to get to Belden tomorrow. I'd like to get there earlier than later to avail myself of the amenities there. And so I needed to do a bigger day today. Whew. Been a lot of uphill too. Pretty views though, but a lot of uphill. But Belden will be the worst. It has the infamous, I think, 14.5 mile climb. So we'll see what that's like after I get there and get my milkshake or milkshakes. But I'm ready to get to camp and eat some food and get to bed. Been pretty good hiking today. I've made it 13.5 miles by noon, so I have another 6.1 miles I think down to Belden and a 1.4 mile road walk. A little bit of snow today, probably no more than an hour of going across snow and everything, so it didn't slow me down too much. But I am really looking forward to getting down to, I think it's called Caribou Crossroads. because I really want a shake and whatever other food they've got. I've had hiker hunger in the worst way on this mountain. No matter what, I eat a snack and then 10 minutes later I'm hungry again. I eat a snack, 10 minutes later I'm hungry again. I finally finished all the snacks in my hip belt and I'm still hungry. So nothing I do alleviates that. So I think I'm gonna need some real solid town food to cure what ails me. So I am motivated to get there faster. The caterpillars here are absolutely destroying some of these bushes. Lots of them, in fact. They're everywhere. I have been getting them on me walking through because the bushes are so close together. You're running into them. I'm glad I have pants for that. But you come up to some bushes and the caterpillars are all over it, just eating the leaves. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a bush left, but you can hear like the dropping of little bits of leaves as they're eating as you go down the trail. The ants are having a field day because the caterpillars that fall on the ground, I see them dragging the caterpillars off. So I'm sure they're having a good time with that. And I'm sure there are many a happy bird around here too. I don't know what those caterpillars turn into. That's something I'll have to look up later. But no time for that. I need to get down to Belden. I'm only, I don't know, less than 4 miles away. So I can almost taste the milkshake.